Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat and today I am doing a book haul. So I have gone to a few of the ob shops, Australian for thrift stores, in our new area, and I have picked up quite a few books. I've also bought a few books with gift certificates people gave me for Christmas. So without further ado, let's get into it, starting with the translated books. So the first three that I'm going to talk about are the ones that I ordered with my Christmas gift card. First up is Strange Beasts of China by Yan Gay. This is following a fictional Chinese city where strange beasts live among humans, and the beasts often take forms which are very similar to, but are not, human forms. And each chapter is focused on a different beast. I think it sounds excellent. I bought this because February, one of the Invisible Cities Readathon countries is China. Another one I picked up for that same challenge is Delirium by Restrepo. This is a Colombian pick because also in February, Colombia is one of the other countries. And this is following a woman in Colombia who is slowly going insane, and her friends and family are trying to figure out why she is doing so. It has great reviews, and it was one of the only Colombian picks that I really felt drawn towards, so I'm very keen to get to this one this month. Both of these I will be getting to in February, so look out for that at the end of the month if you're interested. And the third book that I bought with the gift certificate is one that I was hoping to read for Merry January, but it didn't get here in time. This is The Route of Ice and Salt, and this is a Mexican translation. This is a queer reimagining of Dracula's voyage to England, filled with gothic imagery and queer desire. So this is following a captain of a ship who is transporting Transylvanian soil when he thinks that something odd is going on below deck. I'm ready. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite covers I've seen all year. There's just something about this ocean that is drawing me in, and I mean, queer and Dracula retelling on the ocean, it's like hitting all of my buttons. So it's short, sweet. I really want to get to this very, very soon. I cannot wait. Now we are to the translated books I got at ob shops. So this is I'm Not Scared by Niccolo Ammaniti. This is an Italian translation, and it says it is an authentic portrayal of childhood in an enthralling story about friendship and betrayal, guilt and innocence. So it's supposed to be very dark and childhood themes. I'm kind of thinking it sounds similar to A Game We Play by Simone Vinci. I have high hopes because Italian dark short stories or novellas have really been excellent for me in the last few years, so I'm really looking forward to this one. I also got Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. I'm sure most of you have heard of this one before. She is one of the foremost female Japanese writers that have been translated. So I've actually read Kitchen, but it was such a long time ago I can't tell you anything about it, so I figured that I can just reread it and get the experience again. I also picked up October is the Coldest Month by Christoffer Carlsson. I'm pretty sure he is Norwegian. And this is about a 16-year-old who is at home when the police knock on their door and they are looking for her older brother, Jakob. She hasn't heard from him in days, but she needs to find him before the police do. This kind of, to me, sounds like the Swedish or Norwegian Winter's Bone. If you know that book at all, it's very good, it's very dark, and the movie is actually excellent. It is one of J. Law's first movies, and she is really great in that. So I'm really looking forward to this. It has low ratings on Goodreads. Not sure why. And the last translated book that I have hauled recently is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupery. And this is a French... Whoa! I was trying to see if it has a beautiful cover. Not really. It just has a little star on it. This is a French classic about a pilot who's stranded in a desert, and he meets an extraordinary little fellow. So I don't really know, other than that it's a classic and I've never read it, and that I think it's a few of my friends' favorite books that they've ever read, so I'm looking forward to it. I want to know what all the hype is about. So now let's talk about the fiction that I picked up. The first one is The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. This is an American release, but in Australia, they were having a special deal if you bought it on release day. Not only is it this pink cover, whereas the US cover is blue, but also the letters are rose gold. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, I heard the synopsis and I was like, I need this in my life. So we're following two men who have been lovers and friends on a slave plantation for basically their whole life, and everyone knows that they're together. No one has ever had a problem with it until one day someone comes and betrays them and makes their love seen as sinful and a danger to the plantation's way of operating. So I think that this is going to be super hard-hitting. I'm honestly scared to read it, but also I'm predicting it's going to be one of my 5 stars of the year. So hopefully this will be as great as I think it will be. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. If you guys have read this, if you bought it and read it, it just came out, please let me know. I have the highest of hopes. Now, these are all ones I picked up for free. I traded for them with little libraries. So whenever I do an unhaul, I usually use those books and I trade them with free libraries that are around my area. So one of the books that I got is Monster by Frank Peretti. This is about a husband and wife who are camping, and suddenly a monster runs out of the woods, swoops the wife up, and runs off with her. And then the husband has to basically track down the monster and get his wife back. So to me, it sounded very interesting, very much kind of like Beowulf vibes. However, then I realized when I looked up the author that he is known for being a super Christian writer. So I'm very intrigued about what kind of messaging will be going on in here and what kind of, just what kind of message the whole monster and wife thing is going to send. I also have The Radleys by Matt Haig. This is a vampire book by Matt Haig, who wrote The Humans, who wrote The Midnight Library. I think this is one of his older releases, but I'm very intrigued. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but he's a great writer. I really liked The Humans. I enjoyed it. I thought it was odd and heartfelt and weird and funny. So I'm hoping that that's the same take on vampires in this book. I also traded for The Farm by Joanna Ramos. This is a dystopian which is focused on breeding and reproduction, where they make farms where people of lower socioeconomic classes can be a breeder and carry babies for other people, I think in order for economic exchange. I've heard mixed reviews. Wasn't sure. My husband said he was also interested, so we'll get to this one. I also picked up a romance because why not? I will read it for sure. This is Karen Rainey's Till Next We Meet. I don't even know. It's just a Regency romance. You know, what more do you need to know? Yeah. And I also got Awaken to the Buddha Within. So it's talking about Buddhism, but I thought it was interesting because this is by an American Buddhist nun who is one of the highest trained Buddhist nuns in the country. So I thought it was interesting. It's very small, so why not give it a go? I'm very interested in Buddhism. I've read a lot of books about Buddhism and the text and interpretations. And then I also picked up a zine. It's called Small Zine Volcano Presents the April 7th, 2020 edition. So it's like a local neighborhood zine from where we were driving that day. I haven't looked inside yet. Oh, that's adorable. I did just look inside. There's a rabbit. Already we're off to a very good start. So yeah, keen to get to this as well. I've actually never bought or read a zine yet, so I feel like I should. And then the last 2 books that I picked up are books I have already read. I just thought that the covers were very cool, and I don't currently have them in my collection. I left them in America for my high school days. So this is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So it's a very interesting cover choice. Blood splatter in neon pink on black. And then the last one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and this is the Penguin Classics edition. So yeah, keen to have this in my collection as well. So those are all the books that I have picked up recently. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're interested in me reading any of these particularly fast over the others, there are 3 that I'm definitely planning to read in February. So obviously The Prophets for Black History Month. This is by a Black author about 2 Black men. And then these 2 for the Invisible Cities Challenge. This is Colombia and this is China. So if you're interested in those specifically, look out for my review at the end of the month, and I will chat to you then. I hope you are having a fabulous day, and I will see you all later. Lots of love. Bye!